What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Top 5, Bottom 5 conversation. And we're having a rough one today because technology is not our friend. I don't have my laptop, so we're going to plan B. Forgive me if it sounds weird, different, or worse. It'll be better next time. Or it'll be the same if it doesn't sound any worse.
It'll be better, I promise.
Anyway, we have Chris Pinkerton.
Yeah, because I'm nasty.
And we have Joey, a.k.a. Uncle Dolphin.
Yo.
And together we make up Nerd Rage Radio, a weekly podcast that you can find wherever podcasts are found. Every Thursday, mostly, unless I forget to post.
Mostly.
That being said, you can also find the uncut of this on Patreon, where you can see us try to figure out technology for 15 minutes, which is, I guarantee you, not worth the money. But there's other stuff on there that might be.
That comment section will be lit.
So with that, today we're going to do, of course, the answer to the previous, which was the best alt modes. Today we're going to do the worst alt modes. Please feel free to leave yours in the comments.
We can't wait to hear yours.
They can't wait to hear yours.
I'll start since this is my topic. My number 5 is a gun. So let me tell you, let me tell you the reason why. The thing is like it's just a gun, right? So like luckily Soundwave or Starscream's like kind of always there to catch him.
Yes.
But like if they're not around,
he just
falls. Like if it was a day like today, he just falls in the snow. Like you know what I mean? Like and then nobody. Well, I guess he could transform back. To be fair, but if he got stuck that way, if something went wrong with the transformation cog, let's say, then somebody had to like dig through the snow and find this 38.
Someone else can find and grab it.
And here's a question: is his arm cannon more powerful than the gun mode anyway? Because
I don't know.
Because his cannon on his arm is actually his scope.
That's true.
Oh,
that's true.
You
know, the barrel
is in his gut somewhere.
Comes out his gut or his back, depending on his flavor that day.
It also is like because of the mass shifting, it's significantly larger, so it might pack a more powerful punch.
Man,
and it's like, and then it's not even a gun that like fits in the world, so it's like a gun that transforms to like the size of like a Lamborghini or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a giant replica of a gun. It's like that giant penny that just like Two-Face has.
I just feel like it's not the most thought out one. So number 5, Joey.
Tapes to vehicles. Just almost to almost.
Oh, the tank and the jet.
They're not animals. They're not robots. They're just
tank and a jet. Together combined into a robot.
Do they?
Yeah, the tank and the jet do.
The logistics of that is horrible. You have to shear yourself in half to turn it into two things.
Yeah,
for it to work.
It does seem a little overdone. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to speak. You don't have to do so much. You know what I mean?
You're doing too much.
You're doing too much.
Like
you know?
what happens when you lose half? What the tank is gone?
Oh yeah.
Do you just the upper body, or are you just the legs? Or
if the tank is gone, then you're just the legs.
Running around the neighborhood.
Tape to leg mode.
Yeah, that's all anybody wants.
Yeah. Number 5,
broadside.
Is that aircraft carrier?
Aircraft carrier.
Well, it's a triple mass shift.
Yeah,
because it's an aircraft carrier that turns into the plane that could land on the aircraft carrier. That turns into a robot of indistinguishable size.
It's another one of those audacious sort of.
How dare you?
I know,
it is the audacity.
Yeah, the audacity. Just the size. Like you know what I mean? Like you can't even transform. Like that's the thing. Like you would have to like most of these fights take place like in canyons. You know what I mean? So once again, you just transform into this giant boat and just land on the ground. You know, and then you gotta wait for a plane to want to land on you in order to be of any use to anybody. It's not like aircraft carriers or war machines. You know what I mean?
Guns, right?
They carry the war machines to the... And then another thing, like, no, stop. But another thing. So the Decepticons are in Europe. So you transform onto this stupid thing and then go across the ocean instead of just flying or taking, like, any number of different spaceships that some of them turned into.
Exactly.
Like, you just stand on this.
How was identification of the military in the 80s?
How do you get from... All right, so you're going to Europe, and this thing is in the Midwest. The Ark is in the Midwest, right? So how do you get from the Midwest to the East Coast? And then he gets in the water and transforms for you. But he's got to get deep into the water because he can't be in the shallow part.
But also he could just fly because he turns into a
plane.
Well, so, and that's the thing is,
so does it fly to the water, turn into a boat, and let somebody get on it?
Yeah, however you got from the Midwest to just keep doing that.
Exactly.
That's
maybe we just made this the most interesting Transformer.
Maybe.
Where's my masterpiece broadside?
We had them all wrong.
How big is my masterpiece broadside?
But it always comes back to the robots in the skies. Who's not recognizing that? That's not a U.S. aircraft carrier right there. That's
yeah.
We had a lot
Did they not have computers in the 80s to identify which yours and which not.
Or like the radar's hitting it, and like some Navy admiral's like something. Did we get a new one?
Did we get a new one?
My number 4 is the sweeps, like Scourge's little
shoeboats.
Yeah, little shoeboat. And I'll tell you my issue with it, okay? Is for one, I don't feel like it knows what it wants to be. Like it looks partly like a boat, it looks partly like a shoe, it looks partly like a ship, etc., etc. But secondly, my issue is that like Unicron could have done whatever he wanted, right? Yes. Like he turned this one into a cannon, upgrade.
Great.
Upgrade from a handgun, we've already established it. And then he turned this one into a jet, and like arguably one of the cooler space jets ever created. And then you gotta look like this simple thing. You know, like if I was Scourge, I'd be pissed. Like not only does he make you look like the dumbest ship ever, but then he makes you look old for no reason.
Yep.
Doesn't he got a stupid thing on his head?
Yeah. And the best mode is when he's the shoe with his head out.
Yes.
Like he needs to do that to talk to people.
And that thing is the Decepticon equivalent of a beanie, I feel like. It's the fact that they could have done anything. Like if you take, like, let's say you didn't like the look of a F-14, whatever the Starscream and them are. Let's say you didn't like it. No one says that because it looks cool, but let's say you didn't, right? But that little thing, like when that repair, and like it found something and came back and like you didn't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but Unicron, his only limits was his imagination, and he made this dude look like a idiot in every mode possible.
He ran out of ideas.
Yeah. Number 4.
Similar is the UFO guy.
Cosmos.
Cosmos.
Yeah.
He looks derpy in both modes.
He was almost on my list too.
He's an idiot in both modes.
Imagine being a Transformer and being fat. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you can't exercise. You can't, like, calories in, calories out. You can't go on the Atkins diet. Like, it doesn't matter if you eat 1 Energon cube or 10, you're just fat for the rest of your existence. Number 4.
We've got some duplicity here, gentlemen. Okay. I will just go ahead and pile on the Cosmos.
Oh, right. No.
Yeah, that guy, come on. He turns into a cone.
Again, he's not disguising.
No, not at all.
Who is he hiding from in the UFO mode?
That's
no one's going to notice that.
That's a great point.
Yeah, it's true.
They kind of threw the disguise part out the window.
And like he went out of his way to look like the UFO that like people look for to find the UFO. So it's not even like an inconspicuous UFO. Like it's theoretically it could be a UFO that was shaped like a falcon.
Yeah,
sure.
You know, and people be like, oh, it's just a falcon. Don't worry about it. You know,
that makes more sense than
But he's gonna be like, no, I look like the ones the ones in your tabloids.
Just whatever you want. Whatever you want works. I mean,
and it also his head sticking out.
Yeah, that's another one. His head sticking out.
Just like, let me put a little mask on.
And it's like,
he's like,
you know, where are we going?
Hey guys,
weather's bad.
What's up?
My number 3 is a bit offensive, perhaps, to my co-hosts because it was in their top 5, but it's a microscope. And let me tell you why. If I get into a fight with either of you out in the street and one of you turns into a microscope, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to throw you at the enemy in order to have some sort of impact.
That's fair. And I'll be in complete transparency. That crossed my mind to put on my list too because of that exact reason. The audacity.
It could be both.
It could be both. I enjoy it, but it's not good.
It's just such a specific thing. It's like, you know, like every time you like go into combat, like he runs up like, hey, got anything needs examining? Like, no, sorry. Today it's just the shooty stuff.
A cursory evaluation.
I'll just sit back here with a tank microscope.
That's right. I'm just going to hang out back here.
Yeah.
And again, that's not disguised. It does not look like a real microscope whatsoever.
No, and it's bloody huge. It's like the Hubble.
It's red and turquoise.
Yeah, that too. What do you have for number 3?
Skylinks. Again, with a 2-part.
That is the dumb
part. A lion and a bird.
Space shuttle's fine.
Space shuttle. So if you just ignore the links part and have just the sky part, whereas the space shuttle into a bird,
and the links doesn't really have a personality either.
You know what I mean? His head just pops out.
Yeah, neither does a Ravage.
I know what you're saying. I don't, but I feel like Ravage has a little bit more gestures. And yeah. Like he plays into the pet thing, but I like Bird Skylinks part, the shuttle. Like he talks. He carries on and everything. I don't know if the Lynx ever says a word.
No,
it's just
like the
Kuchamite.
I think they just hang it. Yeah,
you know, he's just like I'm just here.
I'm just legs.
I'm here because the toy had a price point it had to meet.
That's right. Number 3, Power Glide.
And it's an A-10.
Because
it's a plane.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a plane, but it's not a plane like the other planes. Like you played with Power Glide with your Seekers, you're like, what the
Oh,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
from a scale and
From
stuff.
it's almost as I don't know. It's
And
just like it'd be
Also quite useless in a fight.
Well, so it's like an
Compared
A10.
to
It's supposed to be an A10, right? Like,
yeah, it is.
But it looks like it has
doesn't
those
look like
things
an
that like
A10.
allow it to land in
Yes,
water.
yes. I always thought it was that. Is this supposed to be an A10?
Yeah.
I'm
Today
pretty
I
sure.
learned at 42 years old. That
Yeah,
hourglass
that's why the
A10.
Fast Toys one was called Warthog.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I thought it was like a stupid little plane.
Oh, hell no. But yet it's that too.
Yeah. Also,
My number 2 is going to be offensive to one of the commenters from last video who put this in the comments as one of their favorites, but it's Rung from IDW who just transforms into an ornament. And like, once again, it's like, what you are of no use to me. Like just go
Right.
do something. Get out of the way. Or stand in the front.
He's
one or the other.
I think
It's
he's
true.
a psychiatrist, though, right?
Yeah.
He wants to stay in the office. So
Yeah.
just
But
get out of the way.
don't get me wrong, I love his character. I think it's great in the books and all that stuff. But as far as an alt mode goes, where it's like, you just turn into like a paperweight.
yeah.
It's like, like, look, I don't need a paperweight right now. You know what I need? Something with guns on it because we're in the middle of a war here.
Yep.
Joey?
A lamppost.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The one
A big paperweight. A huge paperweight.
Agreed. The one thing that's cool about it, and I'm with you, is that the toy could pull off both Cybertronian mode and Earth mode.
Cybertronian
But see,
mode.
I know. But you could play the play pattern. It was the only one.
the only one.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. I don't disagree with you, but think about what his job was.
Infiltration.
And he looked just like the other light pole.
I mean,
Yeah,
well,
but
that's the
out of
robots in the
context.
sky.
He's a robot.
He's got one down. He's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
It's like every like 300 yards there's a lamppost, but this one is like every 150. Wait, there's a lamppost between these two lampposts that's not supposed to be there.
He had to kick it over.
Maybe he did. Maybe he
Ripped it
did.
out of the ground.
Replace it?
There's like a little bridge you threw it on.
Yeah, we never saw all
And then
that. scene.
all the like Autobots that are in that base didn't hear the lamp like down the chasm.
Number 2, I had Scourge on mine as well.
Yeah. So some of these are getting a bit repetitive. My number 1 is the lamppost.
Oh, okay.
Even though it has merits.
Even though it has merits, and I get the merits, but it's also like, because I think of it like this, right? Like David Bowie said, like when you're a boy, you can wear a uniform. When you're born as something, you can look for the perks as to the things that'll come with just the roll of the dice, right?
Yeah.
But like, imagine you're a transformer, right? Like this war machine, and then like they're like, oh, you like see everybody, and they're transforming into jets and rockets and even cannons and spaceships, and they're like, dude, what am I? And they're like, give it a shot, and you're like, aw. And then, like, thank God he has some friends, because otherwise he wouldn't have anybody in his life who want to hang out at a lamppost.
His friends are like the captive audience. It's like, get in my chest.
Because he's so lonely, because nobody wants to hang out with a lamppost.
But what if
he's like, you're my friend. Get in.
Well,
Get
you're
in.
a bird. You hang out on lampposts.
Number 1, Joey.
This is going to offend a lot of people, which is fine, because I'm okay with that. All of Beast Wars. Every single one of them. Every single last one of the Altmost in Beast Wars, especially Silverbolt, which is a bird cat.
So it is dumb. It is like conceptually dumb, and that's, I know Beast Wars fans get all in a tizzy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a well-written show, all that kind of stuff. But just as a concept, you're going to prehistoric era, and you're trying to fit in with what, dude? With what? For what reason? You moron! Like, they're just dumb animals. Like the dinosaur's brains like this big. Like just. Turn into anything. You should turn back into the tanks.
You don't even
turn
have
back
to
into
turn
tanks and really, you'll really shake the world up.
You can just hang on, be robots. No one cares.
are animals confused by this
Giant spider?
Yeah,
exactly.
or this
Giant fire ant?
like what kind
A
of
bird cat. I don't
Exactly.
think cats existed back then yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Completely agree.
My number 1, boy, it's going to piss some people off, but I think Joey will appreciate it. The Predacons, because they just don't fit.
Yeah, once again, they won't blend in.
Yeah,
because
They're robot animals, which is fine. They're cool looking.
so this is the inverse, right? So like the reason why they don't work conceptually is because they don't have the fur and stuff on them.
They're not
Whereas
disguising
like
as anything.
you don't need the fur when they had the fur, but now you actually kind of do need the fur when they don't.
Listen,
and they're not
fur.
colored, right? They're all orange,
Right.
bright orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. To me, it's always seemed like a misfit group. Period. And
So if you like this conversation, want to hear more like it, please feel free to check out Nerd Raised, the free weekly podcast that you can find wherever podcasts are found. And where can they find you, Chris Pinkerton?
Crashbox Customs all across the fruited plain.
That's-
You got it.
my.
Here. Okay. Don't let it fall. Jeez.
See, it was simple at first. I wonder if I can do any editing magic there. We'll have to wait and see. And Joey?
You find me here.
Right here. But that's also where you can find me. And with that, we'll be back on Thursday with a whole new episode.
Flappy lips.
Tasty toenails.
Tight traps, buddy.
I need to get a new gimmick.